I'm here today to review for y'all Luigi's Mansion for the Nintendo GameCube. That is a review request from my good friend Shepdog25. So the story for this game, Luigi's luck has come in finally. He's won a mansion in a contest he didn't even enter. What luck, right? So what does he do? He gets hella excited, of course, and calls his brother Mario and tells him to meet him there. He gets lost along the way, unfortunately, but eventually he makes his way there. No Mario to be seen, but surely he would have stepped inside to wait instead of standing around in the storm going on outside. So Luigi enters the creepy mansion and begins looking for his brother when a ghost appears. Luckily, a small old man leaps out and tries to capture the ghost in a vacuum cleaner, but ultimately fails and the ghost escapes. He introduces himself as Professor Egad with 2 Ds. He mentions something in passing about there being seemingly more ghosts each day, but that's quickly forgotten line as the ghost returns with friends. Egad and Luigi beat feet and book out of there to the professor's laboratory, where he proceeds to confirm your fears. Mario entered the mansion and never came out. The good professor is willing to give you 2 of his inventions, the Poltergust 3000, that funny vacuum cleaner he was using earlier, and the Game Boy Horror, to capture the ghosts and save your brother. It's not Shakespeare, but it has its amusing moments, and it's certainly easy enough to follow the storyline. Controls for this game. You'll use your GameCube controller to make Luigi catch ghosts ostensibly. Really simple controls. Here, you know what? I'll show you. Here we go. I'll give you a little over-the-shoulder view here. Control stick moves you around. C stick moves your flashlight or vacuum nozzle. A to interact with things, or if you're not near a wall or anything to interact with, you'll call out Mario's name. Hold the B button to turn off your flashlight. R makes your vacuum work. L makes you expel whatever element you most recently sucked up. X, Y, and Z are your Game Boy Horror functions. X brings up your search function, Y brings up your map, Z brings up your item list, and Start obviously brings up your pause menu. For the most part, the controls work. It's easy enough to move Luigi around. There's some issues with the depth perception that I had, but that may just be me and not necessarily the fault of the game. What is the fault of the game, however, is the C stick. Pushing it to the right doesn't necessarily swing your flashlight to the right. What I mean is, right swings your flashlight clockwise, and left swings it counterclockwise. So if you're facing the screen and you want to turn your vacuum to the right, you push the C stick to the left. It can get a little confusing. Graphics. I think that the game looks really good. There's decent character animations throughout the ghosts and Luigi, and there's some interesting lighting effects, particularly when lightning strikes. Though no matter where you are in the house, you cast like a perfect shadow, as though there are no walls. I particularly like the look of the portrait ghosts. They look like characters, and I just love the animation on them and the design on them. And I always enjoy looking at things reflected in video games. And since mirrors allow you to teleport back to the foyer, it looks like they put particular time into the mirrors because they look really cool. There's some nifty use of shadow in the game as well, such as there's a room where you can't see the ghosts. You can only see their shadows on the wall when they cross in front of a projector that's in the middle of the room. Hella cool. And as a last note, Luigi's walking animation makes me giggle as well. And there's the fact that he's constantly holding the Game Boy Horror, which clearly looks like a Game Boy Color, and that makes me smile. Music and sound. I love the sound work in this game. There's a bunch of like little extra things that just tickle my fancy. For one thing, Luigi, he hums and he whistles along with the spooky theme of the game, which just makes me happy. It makes me giggle once more. Even when the theme's not playing, he'll sometimes just hum it a little bit. When you push the A button away from an interactable object, Luigi calls out for Mario in a variety of fashions that also make me smile. When you're in the dark, unexplored parts of the mansion, there's the spooky theme, which is what I call it. I don't know what it's actually called. When there's something scripted happening, there's music. But otherwise, there's just ambient sounds like wind and thunder, which I like. I personally love a game that doesn't have a musical cue constantly or background music playing just to have music playing in the background, and it just uses ambient sounds, you know, to set a tone or a mood, or just to sort of clue you in what's going on beyond your view, such as it's a dark and stormy night. You can hear that because you can hear the thunder and you can hear the wind, and I like that. The musical cues are nice, don't get me wrong, and I like a bit of music in my game because it is a visual, much like a movie. It's a visual presentation. It's, you know, it should have a cinematic feel to it. And the musical cues in this game are nice. They're very cartoony, which fits, you know, it's a Mario game. I particularly love the spooky theme, which I've brought up a few times now. Multiplayer and replayability. There is no multiplayer, and there's only minor replayability. You can try to get the highest ranked mansion at the end, but that's incredibly easy, and actually on my first playthrough I got a B rank mansion. You could probably get the A rank mansion on your first playthrough if you just collect all the money that you can. All the money and treasure that you can, anyway. Beyond that, there's really just trying to get a higher and higher score. So if that's your kind of thing, you know, rock on. But for me, it's not. So replay value is kind of low. It'll just be something fun to play with my younger sister sometimes, or so, I don't know, when I have kids someday, and if I'm still rocking with the Wii or whatever they have out by that point. It'll be something for me to play with them. Or to play again myself down the road when I haven't played it for a while, and it'll be like a fresh story to me. Negatives. It's an extremely short game. I finished it the first time within 24 hours, and that wasn't even like one sit down and play. I took breaks every now and again. So, and add to that the potentially low replay value, unless, like I said, you like to play for high scores. It can be a little boring sometimes, a little bit. There's a few, some of the ghosts are a little bit tricky to figure out what you're supposed to do. And there's the issue of the C-stick I brought up earlier in this review. The positives, though, there's lots of silly things in the game that make you smile. The names of the boos are all wordplay things, or the names of the boos are words that have the word boo slipped in there, like booby, hatch, boo, middle initial B, hatch, or the boo losses. And Luigi's severe fear of ghosts can be pretty amusing sometimes. Overall, the game's just lighthearted fun and brings a smile to your face. It's also pretty entertaining to suck up the ghosts and figure it out. It's also cheap. I got mine for $13.49. Final summation: it's an okay game, as long as you don't end up paying an exorbitant amount of money for it. If you've got kids, if you plan to have kids, you have younger siblings, nephews, nieces, if you hang with children and they play vid games or you want to get them into vid games, I'd say get this game and play it with them. It might be a little tricky on the control side of things for them at first, depending on their age, but I still think it'd be something a child would find entertaining and laugh at, even if they're not playing it themselves, they're just watching somebody. If you're okay with a short but fun game, as I am, it's a good grab for you. I'd say get it. I'm going to close this out with a very small update because I'm excited. I ordered some DVDs on Friday. No, I guess technically it would have been Saturday morning. I ordered them at like 2 in the morning on Saturday. 1 in the morning. Late Friday, early Saturday, however you want to call it. Anyway, I ordered some DVDs that I'm very excited about. So, when those get here, I will definitely be showing those off in an update. I just kind of wanted to give everybody a little something to be excited and look forward to. Catch y'all later. Peace.